This doesn't happen too often, but when it does, there's usually a decent reason behind it. Yugioh! Hey there everyone, and welcome to the second half of our look at the surrenders in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime. But before we do, let's glance at the comment section from last week. And Max and Misty 247 said it's funny because technically she lost 2 duels in a row. You know what's even funnier? She lost 4 of them and still ended up in the finals. Go figure. She must have found some weak duelists after her loss to Panic. Just saying. And with that out of the way, let us take a look at the second half of the surrenders. Beginning with number 7. This was between Yami Yugi and Merrick Ishtar in episode 142, titled The Final Face-Off, Part 5. So this took place right after Yami Merrick was punched and separated from Merrick's body. And he ended up surrendering after the Egyptian God card, Ra, was destroyed by a magic card that Kaiba gave to Yugi. After that, he surrendered the secret of the Pharaoh to Yami. So yeah, and that ended the Battle City tournament arc altogether. Number 8. This was between Joey Wheeler and My Valentine in episode 173, titled Fighting for a Friend, Part 5. This duel took place right after Joey dueled Valen and was still exhausted. The main reason why he was still exhausted was due to the fact that the previous duel used a mechanic that the real-life card game still doesn't have, which was armored cards. Compared to the overlay armor cards that are in the real game, these actually fit onto you and they did real damage to the wielder. And Joey ended up surrendering because of his exhaustion. So yes. Number 9. This duel was between Elroy Prescott and Little Bolowski during Yu-Gi-Oh! GX episode 90, titled Pro Dueling. So during this episode, Bolowski faced off against the pro duelist Elroy Prescott and ended up winning due to his power of being able to put his opponent to sleep with his vibes. Yeah, he ended up forfeiting because he said he wanted to take a nap. Number 10. This was between Reginald Castle and Yuma Tsukumo in Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal episode 46, titled Family Leave. So Reginald surrendered this one because Yuma gave him a speech about how his dueling method and how he just straight up changed how he was. And yeah, his friendship speech, whatever, actually sort of worked on him. Well, along with the fact that he was hungry and his stomach growled at him. Yeah, that is about the extent of Yuma. he needs to be fed, otherwise his stomach goes and says something. But yeah, he gave up the duel because of all that. Number 11. This happened between Declan Akaba and Yugioh Sakaki during Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 during episode 13 titled Circus Surprise. This was actually one of those interesting early series duels where it could have gone either way, and it really and literally swung back and forth between the two duelists until Declan Akaba was called away on a mission. So he decided to give the duel to Yugioh. Also, this was for the fate of the Dueling Academy in the normal dimension, too. So, yeah. And finally, number 12. This one was between Yugioh Sakaki and Yuto in Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc V, or Arc 5, episode number 36, titled Sora's Secrets, Part 2. This duel actually started off as Sora versus Yuto, and he was backed into a corner. That is until Yugioh Sakaki showed up and turned it into a Battle Royal mode duel. Now, this duel, for the most part, after he barged in, became a conversation about the fusion dimension and the overlay dimension. And before Sora was able to bring in his Chimera monster, he was, taken back to the fusion dimension thanks to his dual disc, which turned the duel into a 1v1 between Yugioh and Yuto. They both ended up giving up because Yuto's heart was just not in it at all. And this is where the 13th one comes into play, if you're being technical, because in the 12th episode, neither one of them formally surrendered. They just bowed out at the same time. However, in the dub, it made it sound like Yugioh had surrendered, but Yuto decided to follow suit afterwards. So, yeah, that was just a weird thing they did. And with that, there's just one other thing to mention. During the course of the anime thus far, there has been multiple times when a duelist had attempted to surrender, but unsuccessfully do so. These duelists are Joey Wheeler, Yami Yugi, Leon von Schroeder, Zane Truesdale, Aster Phoenix, Velian Crowler, Jean-Louis Bonaparte, Gregor, Carly Carmine, Misty Treadwell, Pip, Yuma Tsukumo, and Kite Tenjo. Or Tenjo. So, yes. And that is all the surrenders in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime up to this point. if there were any other ones, there's no documented information about them. So, yeah. But anyways, I do have something in mind for next time or next week. Anyways, so until next time, everybody, happy doing!